What's up everybody, it's CJ and I'm back with another CJ Fix My Build video. So today I am fixing up a build for my mod Tiana. If you don't know, I stream over on Twitch and I stream Monday to Friday from 7 to 11. And whenever you watch my streams, you'll earn these things called channel points. And if you have enough of them, you can redeem them for this thing called CJ Fix My Build, or essentially I'll just fix up a Sims build for you, or sometimes I'll build something for you in The Sims. Today is a little bit different though, because this is, like I said, for my mod Tiana. However, this is not her build. This is a build that was built by someone else. This build is made by Helga Tisha Game. Hopefully I said that right. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced your name. But this is one of their builds that they built back in, I believe, 2024. Tiana was like, CJ, could you please refurnish this? Because I need it for some Sims. Because I think she has like some townie Sims that she wants to move into houses and she needs places for them to stay. So she was like, CJ, could you please like furnish a couple for me? So I was like, I got you. One of them I've already done off camera, but the other one I'm like, you know what? Why don't we make it into a video? So this is the house. It's kind of giving like a mid-century home. And that kind of gave me a lot of inspiration for this one because Tiana didn't really give me limitations. She just said don't use custom content. But she didn't really like say like, you know, don't use this or only use that. So I had free range to basically do whatever I wanted today. And I'm really happy because I love builds like that. I was inspired by the mid-century aesthetic, so I was like, you know what, why don't we try to do something like that today? If you've been watching my channel for a long time, then you know when I kind of guess like when I first started my channel, I was really into doing like mid-century homes and just older homes. I don't know why, I just like them. They're just so cozy to me. And also a little bit of my upbringing, I guess, because like people in my family, a lot of them have like homes that were kind of furnished like this, like the 80s, 70s kind of style. So I was kind of like inspired by that today. Now, the story that I have for this house is that there is a couple, right? They live in the modern day, okay, 2026. But there's a couple who bought this house that was in desperate need of work because if you noticed at the beginning of the video, there was a lot of boxes and a lot of like stains on the wall. You can kind of see it now. There's like stains, just this stuff everywhere. They bought a fixer-upper. And they're like, you know what, why don't we, instead of like, you know, remodeling it, making it super modern, why don't we just kind of like dive into the old aesthetic and we just restore the house? So that's kind of what we're doing today. We're renovating it, but we're also kind of like restoring it to its former glory in a way. So needless to say, this house is, I guess, very outdated, but it still looks nice. Like, it, you know, it's not like a rundown home. Everything is nice, clean. And I had a lot of fun doing this one because it's not that often I get to do builds in The Sims 4. I feel like recently, whenever I've done a video in The Sims 4, it's just been for like these kind of videos like CJ Fix My Build. By the way, if you like this kind of video of me like fixing up my subscribers' builds or sometimes just building stuff for them, I have a playlist on the channel of me just doing this. So if you want to watch any of those, I'll leave it linked down below. Some of them are like the build with me, you know, like more slow paced. Some of these are just sped up. I like doing the sped up content nowadays because it's just a lot easier to kind of just lock in and just get things done, and then I could just talk about it after, you know. But don't worry, y'all, I am gonna go back to doing some of those sit down and build with me videos. I kind of miss doing those, you know. But as of now though, we are in the kitchen, as you can see. So I was really inspired by the Dream Home Decorator pack because a lot of those objects are kind of giving like mid-century, I guess like mid-century modern, but it's kind of giving like a mid-century vibe. So that was like the vibe of the kitchen. I believe the stove is from Parenthood and the fridge I think is from is it the Country Kitchen Kit? Possibly. We have so many kits in the game now, y'all, and then there's even like a marketplace in The Sims 4. There's just too much. I can't keep up. Like the kits were one thing because y'all know when kits come out, we used to get like 2 or sometimes 3 at a time. It's just too much to keep up with. Like I can't. It's just too much for me. I also wanted to include a bar in here somewhere, so I put one over there by the kitchen, and I was thinking about having that space be more of like a dining room area, but then I was like, well, I could see them having a bar. And then we have this bar from the Man Cave kit, and I quite like it because it's also kind of giving a mid-century vibe. So I was like, why don't we just kind of use that one today? And then you might have saw I was trying to find a bar back for it, but so many of the bar backs in the game are huge. The one I wanted to use had a mirror, and even if I sized it down, the mirror would like glitch into the wall, and I didn't really like it. So I decided to just use some bottles, and I'm also using some of the bar stools. I think it's from that new... Is it from the new pack, the Royalty and Legacy pack? Maybe, possibly. Again, y'all, we have so many packs. I don't even know. It's just too much. I also included one of those long cabinet pieces, and I put it over here by the half wall. By the way, too, I added a lot of half walls, if you couldn't tell. I love half walls. I'm telling you, half walls I feel like are so slept on in The Sims because like they're just so useful. But I ended up putting one of those in there just to kind of make the kitchen look a little bit different. Now we're moving on to the living room. So for the living room, I really wanted to kind of like have this be like the focal point of the house, and I knew that I wanted some green carpet. It had to be green somewhere, y'all. So I included some green carpet. I think it's from Dine Out. And then I'm also using some of these For Rent curtains. And then I'm also using some from Paranormal Stuff to make them look a little bit more fancy. I was going to put them on the other windows, but that window was just too big. Or just too wide, so I was like, maybe we could just have it for one of the windows. I also didn't really know what to put, y'all. Like, for so many times with this recording, I had to stop recording, and then I had to continue to recording, and then I had to like stop and play around with some stuff. It was a lot of trial and error with this one, because I wanted this to not necessarily be like a traditional mid-century house, like, you know, like, I mean, it's The Sims, it's just for fun, but I wanted this to kind of like feel like an older house. Maybe like you can kind of tell some of the stuff may have been like restored, you know, like these are original couches, but you can tell that they've been reupholstered. You know what I'm saying? But I really wanted to kind of have like those vintage vibes as much as I could. I was kind of annoyed over the fact that I had to use a modern TV. We have like a couple of vintage TVs in the game, but they're like really, really small. And none were really going to fit the vibe. And I know you can size them up, but I didn't, you know, sometimes when you size certain objects up, they just don't look that good. So I was like, you know, we'll just have one modern TV. There are a couple of computers, but the ones that I used are like the old vintage looking ones. I think one is like a typewriter computer and the other one is like one of the big bulky ones. So, you know, I can kind of see maybe this house is like an early 80s house, maybe some early 80s inspiration probably. But for the most part, I think this house really does fit the aesthetic. And by the way, too, if you did not know, I am going to put this up on the gallery. And my gallery ID is Seeckingly, by the way. So I'll put it up on the screen. Speaking of the gallery, y'all, can I just rant for a second, please? So they recently updated the gallery with The Sims 4. And I feel like, I don't know about y'all, but I feel like for me it's a lot harder to navigate now. Because when you load into the gallery, the first thing that you see is like Max's things. But it's like the most popular things that Max has uploaded. So a lot of the times when I go to the gallery, I'm thinking like I'm offline. Because I'm like, wait, why don't I see like new stuff that just Simmers created? And then it's even more jarring when I go to my library tab and then it'll show me things that I made that were like the most popular, but my brain doesn't register that right away. So I'm thinking like, did some of my builds get erased or something? Because like, I think one of the things that pops up for me is one of the builds that I did a long time ago. It was like a clown house build. It's like a really, really old video I did, but that was like one of my most popular things, I guess, that people had downloaded. So it showed up first. There's a way to fix it. You just have to like click on new and stuff, but it's just kind of annoying because it doesn't automatically show you the new stuff. It just shows you like the most popular, and like in the case of the gallery, it's just like stuff that Max has made. It's just like, can they change that back? Because it's kind of annoying. Also, I think there's like a bug with the gallery too, because like now when I try to download stuff, it'll be like, you don't own the packs, and I'm like, I know I'm missing a lot of kits, but I can see what it uses and I have everything. Luckily I can still place things down with no problem, but I know like some people were having issues where I don't think they could like place anything down from the gallery, and it would also tell them they didn't own the packs. So I don't know what's going on, y'all. I don't know what's going on with The Sims 4. It's just too much going on. It's just too much. But now we are in the kids' room. So like I said, the couple has a pair of kids, and I feel like they have to share a bedroom because this house is only a 2-bedroom house. So I wanted to use a bunk bed in here. I'm using that really old blocky computer, and I went with a more orangey and blue color scheme in here. And then I also wanted to use like a really old toy box in here too. I have posters on the wall. There's an end table with a fox lamp on it as well. If anything, this room is really spacious. So even if you want to separate the bunk beds or have 2 single beds, you should still be able to do that. Both of the rooms come with these walk-in closet objects. I believe they're from Get Together. They're like the older ones, and I was going to delete them, but I kind of like the idea of this house having them. I don't really build houses that fit those closets anyway, so I was like, why don't we keep it for like an extra challenge? And I quite liked it. Like, it wasn't really in the way like I thought it was going to be, so I ended up keeping the walk-in closets this time around. So now we move on to the first bathroom. I wanted this one to be yellow because I was really just trying to think of like good colors that kind of go together, you know, especially like with that mid-century kind of vibe. So I was thinking of like oranges, greens, reds, yellows, honestly like fall colors, honestly. I was just trying to like come up with different color schemes that kind of like complement each other. So this is the yellow bathroom, and then the other bathroom at the other end of the house is the green bathroom. That one's a lot smaller. So this one has a shower tub combo. It took me so long, y'all, to get these little clutter objects to fit on this countertop. Like You use move objects, but you kind of have to move them where you want them to be and then move the countertop back, and then it was just a lot. So I got rid of the soap because it was in the way. I finally got it in the end. I did not realize until I got to the screenshots that I did not recolor the tub or that little like towel rack. So I did recolor those. I went with more like yellowy color. So you'll see it in the screenshots. So now we move on to the parents' bedroom. At first, I was going to use the heart-shaped bed, y'all. I really was. But then I was like, wait, I came across this one from Get Famous, and I was like, bro, let's just use this bed instead, because it's literally a mid-century bed, right? The color scheme in this room changes a lot, because at first I was going to go for this yellowy, like, beige wallpaper, but then I was like, no, let's have some color. Let's do something kind of crazy. So it's mainly wood paneling in here, but I used the flowery wallpaper from the Love Struck pack. We have a funky looking rug. We have these glass top end tables. I'm using this lamp from the, I think it's from Tiny Living Stuff pack. And funny enough, I put the lamp in front of the painting, and I didn't realize that till I went to go take screenshots. So I moved it around, and I also added a chair in here. I think I used a little love seat from the Business and Hobbies expansion pack, and I made it yellow. So there is a chair in the bedroom. I also added a mirror in the corner over there, but I quite like how it turned out. And I really like these plumb bob ceiling lights. When we first got those in an update, I didn't know how to use those, but like they fit so perfectly for this kind of build. The parents' bedroom has one, and the living room has one as well. So now we go to the other side of the house. Now for this one, there's a laundry room, we have a bathroom, and then we also have a home office. So instead of having just doors leading to all these rooms, for the laundry room and the home office, I included an archway because I felt like it's just easier to kind of go in and out, you know? I mean, I guess it's a door, it doesn't really matter, but I like archways more for rooms like this. So of course I put a washer and dryer. I also added some clutter in here as well. So a lot of the stuff from laundry day. I did get rid of that little wall decoration with the ironing board and all that other stuff. I feel like it's just a lot better when you play with the walls down so you don't really have to see it as much. I also changed the lights in here as well. I went with some lights from base game. And then for this other bathroom, I just went with the green color scheme. So like I said, this is the green bathroom. It's a lot smaller. There is no shower or tub in here. It's just like a half bathroom. So you have a toilet, and then you have a sink. I'm using the sink from the Tiny Living Stuff pack. Same thing with the toilet and mirror. So Tiny Living really came in clutch. Like Tiny Living, Get Famous, those really came in clutch. I feel like I'll probably use a lot of packs with this build because, you know, it just be like that sometimes. I would say like definitely Tiny Living, definitely some Parenthood thrown in there. So there's a lot. I guess you'll see on the gallery what I actually use because I don't remember. In the end, this bathroom really came together really quickly, honestly. It didn't really take me that long. I guess because it's kind of small, you know, but didn't really take that long for this bathroom. I still think it looks pretty nice. I wanted to use a sconce in here, but I don't know. So I think I ended up getting rid of both of them, and I just used a ceiling light because I feel like this room didn't really need that many lights. So last but not least, we move on to the home office, and I changed this room up quite a bit as well. I like the purpley kind of color scheme of the wallpaper in the floor, but then I was just like, well, I don't really want to use this wallpaper or floor. So I do make a purple wallpaper, but I'm using the one from the Adventure Awaits pack. I quite like this one, y'all. I've been using it a lot lately. I like it. I think it's because it's really old and outdated. I just like it. And it kind of gives like fall vibes, you know, but I'm using that. I'm also using some carpet in here as well. I believe I used the carpet from the Pastel Pop kit. And since this room was already like a home office, I just included a desk. I think I used the desk from base game, I want to say. And then I used the little typewriter computer, which I think is maybe from Cottage Living. And I believe the office chair is also base game as well. I also included a bookshelf in here, which is also base game. I added a little end table with the lamp. The end table I think is from Dream Home Decorator. And the lamp might be from Seasons. I can't really remember, but I think it might be from Seasons. And then, of course, I added a little rug underneath. But yeah, these rooms didn't really take that long to furnish. They kind of came together really easily. The rug is from Get Famous, by the way. You know, I had to use a Get Famous rug because they have like the good patterns on it, you know? But that's basically it for the inside of the house. No, for the outside, it didn't take me that long for this one either. I've used a lot of stuff from the Desert Luxe kit. I used some of those, like, I guess they're trellises. They're like little overhang pieces, and I used those. I also used a fence from base game just to kind of like fence in the backyard a little bit more. But in the end, y'all, everything kind of came together. It took me a while to do this house, but honestly, everything came together really nicely. So I hope you enjoy it, Tiana. Again, if you want to download this build, I'm going to put it on the galleries. My gallery ID is Seeckingly, so I'll put it up on the screen. But anyway, y'all, that is all that I have for this video. If you did enjoy it, please be sure to leave a like, comment something down below. Follow me over on Twitch while I stream a lot of The Sims, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, thanks for watching.